Hi everyone, in this video we are going to create the IK systems for the legs. That's our inverse kinematic systems. What this is going to do is give us the ability to control the feet and the legs. So you can see here I've already put one together, and I'm going to show you how to assemble this. So basically it allows us to sort of angle our feet, move our feet around for things like walk cycles, and we also have a range of intermediate controls as well. So you know, we can do things like tiptoe moves, you know, we can do like a twist kind of move like this. We have an option for doing like a toe tap or a foot bend, that kind of thing, and then also sort of a heel sort of up and down kind of system as well. So this is quite a complex process, and it's very easy to get all of these things confused. So I'm going to go through this in just a very basic manner, step by step, and I've also included a screen capture of this setup, which I'll give you guys, and you can use that as a reference. So this is basically showing the actual setup of the control handle, the different control groups, and then the IK handles inside those groups, and also indicating where the pivot point of each of these things is placed. So it's either going to be the heel of the model, which would be the actual physical model itself, the ankle joint, which is just here, the toe joint, which is down the front, just here, or the foot joint, which is this joint here in the middle. Now this doesn't indicate where to place the IK. That's pretty basic, and that'll be the first thing we do, or one of the first things. So refer back to this document if you need, and obviously you'll have this video as a reference as well. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of all of this rigging that I've done. So let me get rid of those. So we're sort of starting back fresh from the start. So there's a skeleton that we built last time. What I've done here is I've gone to the show menu, and I can hide the model using this polygons option by turning it on or off, and you can just do that as you see fit. For the time being, I'm going to switch it back on because I am going to need to see where the heel of the model is for setting up a pivot point. Okay, so I want to go through this pretty quickly. That way the video isn't too long. This usually can take me about half an hour to record, and I don't want to record for that long, so let's jump into it. First thing we need to do is create a control handle. So I'm going to go to the Create menu, down to NURBS Primitives, and I'm going to select Circle. You can tick this if you like here, Interactive Creation, and that will allow you to click and drag a circle on the grid. So what I'm going to do is sort of start near the middle of the foot and just drag this circle out like this. And this is the left foot, obviously, of the character. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to change the shape of this control handle. So I'm going to right click and hold on the control on this NURB circle and select Control Vertex, and then I can select any of these control vertices and just use the move tool and just move them sideways or forwards or backwards like this. And all I'm going to do here is just create sort of like an approximate foot shape. So this is basically a custom handle, custom shape handle for our animators, so that when they see the shape, they're going to understand that this is the control handle that will give them control over the actual character's feet. Or this particular foot. So I'm just sort of adjusting. It doesn't have to be perfect, just something that's recognizable for your animator as being the character's foot. So something like that. And we don't want it too big, but we need to be able to select it. You know, it needs to be in a spot where you can select it quite easily near the actual model foot. Okay. So once you've done that, just right click again on the object and select object mode. So you'll need to hold down that right mouse button. All right. And now what we want to do is we want to move the pivot point of this handle So this position, this pivot point position to the back of the heel. I'm going to switch on my wireframe on shaded, and you can see that there's actually a vertex or an edge running down here, and there's a vertex sort of down the bottom of the foot just in there. So what we're going to do is snap that pivot point to that vertex at the bottom here. So what we do is we switch on snap to points, and then in the move tool settings, if we come over to the tool settings, I can switch on edit pivot just here. That's the D key on the keyboard, and it'll give us this handle. So now what I can do is I can grab this handle in the middle and drag it to that vertex at the bottom. So right down there at the bottom of the heel, we just want to snap it to that point. So once you've done that, switch off edit pivot and switch off snap to points. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to do is duplicate this handle across to the right hand side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to edit, duplicate, and then I'm going to change the translate X value just here to minus whatever the number is. That's going to move it across. And then what I want to do is rotate this. I want to basically flip it this way round. Okay, so what we're going to do is rotate it 180 degrees on the Z axis. Okay. Now, ideally, what that should do is sort of get the handle in roughly the right spot. Now, because I changed the shape of this and then changed the pivot point, this is going to come out slightly in the wrong spot. It's a little bit more over this direction. So what I'm going to do is turn on snap to points again, and then I'm just going to snap this handle to there. I'm not changing the pivot point, I'm actually now moving the object. Okay, and that way it'll be pretty much in exactly the same spot on both sides. Once I've done that, turn off snap to points, and what we want to do is freeze the transformations of these handles. So I'm going to shift select the first handle as well, come up to modify freeze transformations. And now what I need to do is name these handles. So I'm going to name the first one, and what I'm going to do is call this left foot control. So I'm going to go LFT foot CTRL. I'm going to highlight that and copy it, and then just hit enter to lock that in. And then I can go over to the other foot control, and I can type, I can paste that name in, and then just change the left to a right. And hit enter. So you can see now I've got my left and right foot control. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create IK handles. Those are inverse kinematics handles. These are the handles which actually allow us to sort of move the handle, and it will then move the limb for us. So it makes it very quick to do things like walk cycles. Okay, so what we do is we're going to hide the model first. So we'll go to show in the viewport menu, and we'll go down to polygons and untick that. So now we're just dealing with the joints. And what I want to do is set my menu set just here to rigging, and also switch over to the rigging tab. So I can select my IK tool just here, my IK handle tool, or I can come up to skeleton and select it just here, create IK handle. What I want to do is either double click the icon to get to the options, or come into the menu here and click the option box. So by default, if I hit reset tool, what I'll have is the current solver is rotate plane solver, and what I've got is auto priority and sticky turned off. What I want to do is turn sticky on for this one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the hip of the left leg, and then click on the ankle of the left leg. And that will create a rotation plane IK handle. The rotation plane is this brown ring with this big white indicator arrow. This is showing me the direction the knee is pointing in. Because we created the skeleton with a slightly bent leg, the rotation plane is automatically pointing along that knee direction. If we created a straight line with the joints, this could have been kind of pointing almost in any direction, potentially. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that with the right leg. So I'm going to switch my tool back on, so I can either come over here and click the icon here or go back up to the top or to the menu, and I'm going to select the right hip and the right ankle. And I'm going to rename these as I go, okay, so that way I don't get them confused. So I'm going to rename the first one, and this is going to be called left ankle IK. So we'll double click that and we'll type in LFT ankle IK. I'm going to highlight that again and copy it, and then I can paste that in over the name of the second IK handle that we just did, and just change the left to right, like that. So I've got the left ankle IK and the right ankle IK. Alright, so now what we're going to do is create IK for the feet. And both feet have two IK handles in them. One from the heel to the foot, the ball of the foot, and then one from the ball of the foot to the toe. So I'm going to go open up my IK tool again. And this time, I'm going to change the solver at the top here to single chain and turn off sticky. A single chain basically doesn't have a rotation plane attached to it, so it doesn't sort of have a forward direction to it. Alright, let's zoom down to the foot. Once again, I'm on the left foot here, and using the tool, I'm going to click on the heel, or the ankle joint, I should say, and then down on the ball of the foot, this ball joint just here, okay, or foot joint. Okay, so there it is there. And then what I'm going to do is repeat that on the other side. Okay, and I'll create another one over here on the right foot. Oops. There we go. You'll tend to find that the right foot IK handles look like they're flipped upside down, but don't worry about that. Okay, so there's one for each foot. Now these ones, I'm going to rename the right-hand side, the left-hand side, and this is going to be called left foot IK. So I can paste in the last one, and then just change ankle to foot. And then obviously the right hand side one is going to be foot, foot and right RGT. So I've got left ankle IK, right ankle IK, left foot IK, and right foot IK. My software is actually playing up. The actual viewport's not showing the selected object properly. So you can see there, if I select left foot IK, this kind of goes green, but that still looks like it's selected. So I think my recording software is causing some lag. Okay, so let's create the last bits of IK. What we're going to do is, once again, grab the IK tool. We're using the same settings, single chain and sticky off, and we're going to click on the ball of the foot and then on the toe joint. We'll do that for both sides. So ball of the foot and the toe joint. Okay, so with this one is going to be called left toe IK. And obviously the other one's going to be called right toe IK. Like that. So we've got left ankle, left foot, left toe, right toe. Now it doesn't necessarily matter if these are not in this particular order. The order is going to change as long as you've got each of those and they're actually named correctly per their position. So there's the ankle, left ankle, there's the right ankle, there's the left foot, there's the right foot, there's the left toe, whoops, there's the left toe, and then there's the right toe. Okay, so now what we're going to do is start grouping these. And this is where the complexity begins. This is where it starts to get a bit hard to remember what goes where. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select the foot and toe IK on the left foot just here. So it's the left foot IK and the left toe IK. You can just select them in the outliner list and hold Control to select multiples. What we're going to do is group them. So we're going to go to Edit Group, which is Command or Control G. I'll be using that shortcut from this point on. So we've got a group. All right. Now this group is going to be called left toe tap. So let's just double click that. Let's call this LFT toe tap control group, like that. I'm going to highlight the whole thing and copy it with Command or Control C, and then just hit enter. Now I want to repeat everything I do with the left foot with the other foot as well. So I'm now going to go and select the right foot IK and the right toe IK. So that's those two, and I'm going to group those with Command G. So we get a group, and then I'm going to rename that group, and this time it's going to be right toe tap control group. Okay. Once again, I've already set this up so you can just sort of copy this, and obviously the LFT is going to be RGT for the right foot. Okay, so the next one is the left ankle. Okay, left ankle IK, and that just gets grouped by itself. So we just hit Command G or go to Edit Group. Okay, there it is there. And this one is called left heel control group. So it's going to be left heel control group. We'll highlight that and we'll copy it, and then we repeat it with the other foot. So we grab the right ankle IK and we go Edit Group. There it is there. And we rename this and we change this to right heel control group. Okay. Now, just so it's a bit easier for me to do some selections here, what we're going to do is use, if you've got like left and then right and then right, you don't really need to worry about this, but what I'm going to do is use my left heel control group, the middle mouse button, and I'm going to drag this up until I get this line, and I'm dragging it under the left toe tap so I get this line like this. Okay, like this. When I release, it's going to move the group up to here. So now I've got left toe tap, left heel control, right toe tap, right heel control. It just makes it easier for me to find things in the list. Okay, so what I want to do now is I'm going to put the toe tap and the heel group into a new group. So I'm going to select the left toe tap, hold down Control or Command and select the heel control group just here. And then we're going to group that. We're going to go Edit, Group. Okay, there it is there. Okay, and I'm going to call this group the foot twist. This is going to be left foot twist. So let's go LFT foot twist control group. Left foot twist control group. We'll copy that, and then we'll do the same thing for the right. So we select the right toe tap, Command or Control select the right heel, and then go Edit, Group. We'll rename this group, and this will be the right foot twist. So there it is there. Then we're going to do two more groups for each. So I'm going to select my left foot twist, and I'm going to group it. Edit, Group. There it is there. And this group, so you can see there, left foot twist. Okay, this group is going to be called the tiptoe. So it's going to be left tiptoe control group. So I'll enter that. Then we'll do the same thing for the right hand side. So I select the right foot twist group, go to Edit, group. There it is there. And we'll rename this one and change the left to right. Okay. So the last group is going to be called the ankle twist group. So we select our left tiptoe control group. We go to Edit, Group. I'll just expand that out. We're going to rename this one. So this is going to be left ankle twist control group. Left ankle twist control group. Okay, I'm going to highlight that, copy it, enter that, and then select our right tiptoe control group. Go to Edit, Group. Just expand that out so we can see it. There they are. And we'll paste that name in and change the left to right. There we go. Right ankle twist control group. There we go. Okay. So we've got our groups. We've got our two control handles. Before we connect the groups to the control handles, what I'm going to do is double check that my control handles have a 0 rotation translate over here. You can see that's fine. What I want to do is delete the history off these handles. This one doesn't have one because it's a duplicate, but this one here will have that input. So I'm going to delete the history. You can select both of them. Just go to Edit, Delete by Type, History. Okay. And also we can, just to be on the safe side, go to Modify, Freeze Transformations with those two handles selected. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to change the pivot points of all of these items. We've already done the foot control, and that's been placed at the heel of the model, but we need to now set the group's pivot points to these items here. So you can refer back to that image if you need. I'm just going to run through this sort of on here. What we want to do, turn on the move tool just here. And also turn on snap to points just here. Then I'm going to select my ankle twist control group. Left ankle twist control group, okay? That one there. All of these groups' pivot points will be here in the middle of the grid. I'm going to switch on my tool settings and activate Edit Pivot just here. You can do that by hitting the D key on the keyboard as well. Okay, so the left ankle twist control group has its pivot point at the ankle joint up here. So I'm going to grab the little dot in the middle, this yellow dot, and drag this to the ankle, like this. The next group, which is the toe, just here, this is the toe group, tiptoe group. This one has its pivot point at the toe. So I'm going to drag that down to the toe. Okay. The other groups all have their pivot points at the ball of the foot joint here in the middle. So foot twist goes to the foot. Toe tap goes to the foot. And the left heel control goes to the foot. Like that. So now what we do is the same thing on the other foot. So right ankle twist goes to the right ankle. Right tiptoe control goes to the right toe. Right foot twist goes to the foot. Right toe tap goes to the foot. And right heel goes to the foot. Once that's done, you can switch off your snap to points and you can switch off your edit pivot. You can also switch off your move tool by hitting Q or the selection arrow. Okay, so finally what we want to do is we want to select our left ankle twist group and parent it onto the left foot control. So you can either select your left ankle twist and then control or command click the left foot control, or shift click it over here in the viewport and then go to Edit, Parent. There it is there. The other way of parenting inside the outliner is use your middle mouse button as a button So your scroll wheel is a button. So select the object and then middle mouse drag it on top of the object you want to parent it to. But you need to make sure you get this dotted box around the selection. If you just get the line, that means you're just going to move it in the list. The box will parent like that. And then you can shift select that and just double check it. So if we check this against the, you can check this against the list in this picture. So left foot control, left ankle twist control, left ankle twist control, left tiptoe, left foot twist, toe tap, heel, and heel. So to quickly go over what these do, if I select my, let's have a quick look here. If I grab my foot control and the rotate tool, I can get the foot to tap like this by rotating it this way. I can also angle the foot by doing this. Okay, and technically I could also roll the foot like this. When I test something, I always use undo to get back to its default position. Okay, the left ankle twist basically is going to give me a toe tap control like this. The tiptoe control does the same thing but from the toe, so I can get the character to stand on its toes. The foot twist control allows me to twist the foot on the ground like this, like it's you know, putting out a cigarette or something like that, or squashing a spider. The toe tap control allows me to tap the character's toe like this, and then the heel control allows me to lift the heel like this. So these things predominantly are good for getting the character to do certain foot positions when you're doing a walk cycle. That's primarily what this is for. Okay, that's it for this video. Don't forget to save your file, so we'll just hit file save. And in upcoming videos we're going to add controls for the arms. They'll also be IK driven, but not quite as complicated as this. And then we'll also create some body controls and a control for the top of the can to move the body around. So that's it for this video. I will see you next time.